Yes. I think I'm live. Yes, I am. Ha. Boom, got it right. Congratulations, me. Achievement unlocked. As you'll notice, there's no Sinatra yet. I think I gave him the wrong time. Let's go with that. I possibly did. How are you all today? I hope you're well. This is well planned, right? So, as you noticed from the title, I'm going to be talking with Sinatra when he gets it, i.e. when I get a message back from him telling me he's free. Yes, let's go with that. What is this fuckery? It's just me. Yeah. Yeah, his timing is impeccable. In truth, I hadn't really had much of a chance to plan topics to chat with him about anyway. But I had some ideas. For example, there was something in my head for a while that was stuck for a bit. It was this odd transition from, and I don't know why I'm wearing earphones because, and yes, I've heard of Cog's funeral. Rest in peace, Cog. You'll be missed, world's greatest thought. And the subject somehow managed to skew from what was originally the death of the skeptic community, and then shifted to blood sports, no one likes them. And I wanted to get Sinatra's thought on that, along with his take on blood sports anyway, because I'm not sure what to think about it half the time. Because when I'm at work, real life work, the Kumitei's on, and if I can't think of any good music to listen to because I'm fussy, I typically put the Kumitei on. And I've lucked out most times. I've always caught it when there's a heated discussion going on, which I think's really good. It entertains me anyway. It certainly makes the dullness of mopping a floor a lot easier. Yeah. Okay, well, I don't know if he's free yet, but he's messaged me back at least. Anyway, until he gets back, I want to address an article quickly that I got sent on Discord. And it's on NBC of all things, you know, that fake news network. Yeah. And I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll drop it in the chat, because this made me chuckle. So let me just drop it in the chat for all of you. Yeah. The patriarchal race to colonize Mars is just another example of male entitlement. The presumed right to use and abuse something and then walk away to conquer something new is a hallmark of colonialism. Whether that's right or not is beyond the point. It's just the whole desire to colonize Mars is a patriarchy thing. It's not what I consider to be, and that's a scientific exploration thing. Sigh. Which in and of itself is hilarious, let's face it. NBC coming up with the best articles, and there's a great picture of a car in space. Yay. So I'm just going to read a little of this. And I wish if I saw this about a minute before I went live, so I didn't have a chance to crop the images, because for some reason I can't get OBS to do as it's told half the time. Yeah. So, what does a midlife crisis look like in the 21st century? I would assume it looks like a hipster with a top knot. But the top knot is on a guy with a very high receded hairline that's thin on top. So it looks really, really bad. Anyway, frizzing away your life savings on a red sports car is so last century. I hope this is a Poe, because this is funny. Instead, today's man who is grappling with the limitations of his mortality spends $90 million on a rocket to launch a 100... Okay. That's a big dig at Elon Musk there. I think it's a fantastic waste of money. Because he can be the guy that says, yeah, that's right, I put an electric car in space. Which was helmed by a robot called Starman. Wasn't that the name of one of the KISS members? Or was that Star-Lord, which is also a Marvel character? Oh, okay, 10 minutes, Sammich will be here in 10. Fantastic. That's awesome. Gives me more chance to look at this. 'Cause this is... When I look at this article, the first thing that comes into my head is you've basically just taken something, again, another thing that is scientifically hilarious and cool, and I turned it into identitarian bollocks, which I think is pretty freaking weak. And I apologize if I'm not looking at the chat. Let me see. Oh yes, Alanska, you are welcome. I'm always here. Oh, Star Child, thank you. Oh really? Awesome, I'm right, Paul Stanley. Okay, well the car was well, it was Starman, so obviously I was wrong. Although if Trudeau had seen that, it would have been Star People. Yeah, that's a thing. But like previous scientific happenings, things that have happened that have been really cool in science, like that guy with the shirt. Yeah, awesome, right? But let's focus on the shirt and not what he was actually doing, which I actually can't remember because the shirt was hypnotizing. I wanted to buy one of those shirts. I remember his, I think it was sister-in-law, she made some to order. I hope she made a mint off it, because those shirts were very fancy. Yes. So, I'm going to carry on with this until Sammich gets here anyway. We want a new space race. SpaceX founder Elon Musk. Was it he who founded SpaceX? I thought that was like a Virgin Media thing. Virgin, like, Richard Branson project. Doesn't matter. Said in a press conference shortly after the launch of his company's Falcon Heavy rocket and his Tesla Roadster. I like the idea that this car is going to be, what, piloted towards Mars? Is the exhaust the propulsion system now? Even though it's electric. I think this is all fascinating, actually. I'm not huge on Tesla cars, but with our finite resources, it is wise to shift our energies into obtaining energy through alternative means. At least in our country, because I believe, is it 2020 or 2040? I think it's 2020 that diesel cars, I think, are being banned in the UK. I'd have to look that up. UK ban on diesel cars from 2040, right? Which is fine, because by then I'll be fucking ancient. Really old. We all will be. I know that wasn't, no, it was a while ago. When I was a teenager, they banned 4-star fuel, petrol, which was, I think, leaded, which is why they banned it. Which is great, because for the most of my childhood, we drove around in 4-star powered cars. It's nice to know I've lost a few years of my life, huh? Smelled great. Who doesn't love a bit of petrol in their lungs? And lead. Yeah. I'll be dead by that ban. I know that there's an increase of cars in my area where I live, where there are people who have these electric ports where they have their fancy little hybrids. Yeah. And the arrogance that was portrayed in South Park is still very much apparent, even in a pokey little seaside town like mine. It's quite astonishing, really. I probably should have done a video on this, because this is quite funny. I might still do, because with a bit more thought I could probably come up with better answers. Oh, here's some nice criticism towards billionaires. And Musk isn't the only billionaire looking to enter the space race. Terrible, right? I mean, these very wealthy people, what will they do with their money? Give it to all the poor, perhaps? Or would they do something incredibly stupid and also hilarious? So you've got Amazon's Jeff Bezos, whatever, and his private aerospace company, Blue Origin, and then you've got Richard Branson, who created Virgin Galactic. Yes, that's it. Because if I remember correctly, there were pictures of hotels in space. And the picture looked like... It looked like a teardrop upside down. And there were like 6 pods or 7 pods possibly within it. It wasn't really much of a walk-around hotel. It was like a cushion, a seat. A very, very big seat in space. But that was the image I remember seeing of this. And I thought it was awesome. But now you could pull up in a Tesla and, you know, float around in space. That sounds cool, right? So, these men, particularly Musk, are not only heavily invested in who can get their rocket into space first, but in colonizing Mars. What a terrible idea, right? What these billionaires want to do is take their money and bury it in Mars. How will we ever live without their money that exists here, but they want to take there? Even though most of it's in banks. So it's not real money. It is, but isn't. This is like the argument some have given, and I've heard this in the past, where someone believes there is such a thing as a space Jew, and Trump is hiding all their money in the moon. Their gold, all the gold is hidden in the moon, because it's the space Jews' money. I'll read a little more of this, I think. The desire to colonize, to have unquestioned, unchallenged and automatic access to something, to any type of body, and to use it at will, is a patriarchal one. Really? Maybe if you, I don't know, draw your argument from the past perhaps, but not so much now. It doesn't really stack up. At the moment, the idea of colonizing Mars, I guess it would be a very interesting argument to see play out. See Richard Branson rock up on Mars in one of his hot air balloons, right? He sets it down, plants a flag and says, yeah, this planet is now called Planet Virgin. Oh no. Something not quite right about that. And then have himself in some Supreme Court with someone arguing whether or not he can own the moon. Which, actually he could. He actually could. But I think it's certainly a very interesting argument to see how it play out. I'd like to see that. Or just see Elon Musk flipping his way through space in his Tesla. And just manage to somehow get that flag onto the surface. Be like, yeah, this is called hair transplantonia. Yeah. Yeah. This is the new billionaire thing, but because it's male billionaires only that are being hilarious with their money, it's a patriarchal thing, which, while they haven't indicated it's a bad thing, which they probably will further in the article that I might make a video on, I'm tempted now. At the same time, it's just, what, a bit of criticism? It doesn't really matter too much. I think it's just funny. So, hello chat. Well, there's 46 of you here listening to me ramble on, you poor things. Anyway, I think there's a... Where is it? Oh, right there, okay. The article does carry on and basically go about instinctual cultural forces that teach men that everything and everyone in their line of vision is theirs for the taking. Yes. I want everything. If that were true, I would actually claim the rings of Saturn. Just cause. That sounds really cool. And then I'd stick it around the waist of the mother of the person who wrote this article because she's that fat. That's the worst joke I've ever conjured up in my life. I should be ashamed of myself. Yes. Anyway, so to deviate from that and go on to a different topic, I was earlier... Oh, it happens quite a lot. I've watched a lot of... I mentioned the Kumite. And I noticed a lot of people arguing and blocking each other, but arguing and shouting over each other and arguing. It's... Sweet, Trups. That's awesome. And I noticed I got tagged in a little argument between Sophane and somebody called Cthulhu-Kin, who I think Sofane called him a third-rate, low-brow version of me. I got tagged in that. I really don't pay much attention to the arguments, but I've noticed everyone arguing over the smallest of things, which is quite, well, petty. And funny at the same time, because, come on, they're arguing over nothing. Or they're taking originally interesting arguments, and somehow it's devolved. And I watched it on Kumite earlier, where I believe at one point Theron was going to debate Andy Warski, Andy Race Warski, Andy Super Chat Race Warski, or whatever you want to call him. And I noticed that that had devolved, which is a shame, because I would have liked to have seen that discussion, because Theron obviously wanted to remove the business element, so I kind of get Andy's position on that. But now it's devolved so much so that Andy's asking people if they'd suck Theron's female dick. I don't know what to say to that. It seems like, oh, you're on Discord. Awesome. Word up.
Hey.
How you doing, sexy?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
I'm not so bad. How you been? Because I tried to get hold of you. You were like gone. I thought you were asleep or away or something, or ill.
I took a nice little nap today.
Ah.
Yeah, it was a nap kind of day over here. It was a nap kind of day yesterday, too.
It was my day off, and I kind of get it. It's why when I had all that time to think of topics to talk about, I didn't. Because I'm really professional, like you and your ghost poo friends.
Professional. That's one way to put it.
Yeah. So I have to ask, because I know you like Kumite. What do you think of blood sports? Because everyone's talking about it at the moment.
I think it's fun as fuck, dude.
Right.
I think it's so fun to get out of the halls of debate. You're strawmanning me. You're committing a fallacy.
Oh, yeah, everything's
call you an asshole.
Everything's a fallacy, though, isn't it? Yeah, don't ever get into a debate with someone like Spinosaurus-Kin, because everything's a fallacy to him. Everything. Literally everything. Man. I've had arguments with him in the past on Skype. It's just don't. Oh, you just committed this fallacy. Thank you. Thank you. Now
yeah,
what?
But he's so willing to take people out of context, too.
Yeah. It's been a bit of a... Oh, thank you, Corbin Thomas. Are Cthulhu-Kin allowed in the ethno state? You'd have to ask Sargon. I think he's on Nuka's stream. That's what one of my patrons told me anyway, so...
They're allowed in my ethno state.
Yeah. What is this ethno state thing? Is this still an ongoing argument?
It is. I think it's a decent argument to have, because it's not completely impossible.
Okay, so what is the... because I haven't paid attention to this as much as I should have. What is the argument? Or what is it like box off a corner of the US or something?
Well, that's the thing. That's where they're having a hard time. It's like, where do you put the ethno state? How do you keep the ethno state pure? And that's where they're fucking up. To say it's impossible is silly, because it seems like both sides at some point are kind of trying to go for some form of segregation.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's an argument worth having. That's why everyone goes, the ethno-state argument's stupid. It's like, not really.
I think the argument, when people say that, then I've seen some alt-right people do this. They then pointed out that with democracy, it can't realistically be achieved. And then, like, I don't know what you want. What do you want me to say to that now? Because you've kind of reached the conclusion of the argument, and I don't know where you're going with this.
Yeah. I mean, it's an argument worth having, but it's an argument that can't go past how.
Yeah. I know someone said that... who was it that was talking about this? They were mentioning that if you... Oh, no, it was Hi, I Think I'm Real. He was doing this... He was on his latest Andy Warski video. And he was talking... yeah, okay. I get it. I do. But he's talking about the ethno-state thing, and he mentioned that if you have someone that you want to pay someone to leave the state, and they say no, then you have to you have to use some form of authoritarianism on those people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I think there's more context to that. I think he was just like he was waffling and railing on Andy Warski because I think Andy blocked him on Twitter. which was
Yeah,
amusing.
Andy blocked Hi, I Think I'm Real.
I think he blocked. It's not. I'm surprised he hasn't blocked Sophane if he hasn't already. I know they've been arguing a lot recently, and I'm surprised that they haven't. I know that they don't want to, but I get the feeling that that's what Andy wants them to go on the Kumite, which I think would make it very. While I wouldn't go on there to argue with someone because I'm a bitch when it comes to arguing. I'm not very good at it. I think it'd be very entertaining to watch. You've been on there a few times, actually, haven't you? To argue with people.
Warski Street?
No, Kumite.
Yeah, I've done the Kumite thing a few times.
Who have you smacked about? Was it Zeph?
It was Zeph, one of his buddies. I can't even really remember. It's just so many people.
You just have a little checklist of people you defeated, huh?
I have a little counter in my Twitter handle. It's 15-0 right now.
Really? Oh dear. Wouldn't want to be the number 16. I would not want to be that. Oh, I can't do arguments.
Well, I'm working on getting Sophane on for a gun control debate, and I think he's a little sketchy about it. Okay, but so I kind of don't blame him.
Yeah, it's quite a tricky one because this one is of that shooting is more gun control arguments are coming out. I saw Riley Dennis tweet that if you have a mental illness, you shouldn't have a gun. Didn't see that backfired a little bit, obviously. And then
Riley Dennis also tweeted out that ban all guns.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah. Ban all guns. But this one is definitely on the. Isn't this? If anyone's going to pass the blame off, it's on the FBI.
It is. It's the FBI was warned twice. They never passed it to their field office, and the police have been called to this kid's house.
Mm-hmm.
I think almost 40 times, 39 times, and nobody did anything about it.
That's embarrassing.
The one thing I can't agree with is that if a judge can rule you unable to own a gun, then that's okay to put on some kind of not own list. It shouldn't be up to some arbitrary thing like the FBI who can just decide shit at their own will. It should all be down to a judge, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was one of the things Trump tried to push through because people like Trump wants to make it easier for mentally ill people to get a gun. It's like, no. What Trump wanted to do was make it so a judge has to rule you are mentally unfit before you cannot own a gun.
I was talking to somebody about this last night. I think it might be one of my patrons, and I said that if there's some kind of mental health screening involved, how would you go about that? Would you have to pass a psych evaluation to own certain types of guns?
Yeah, there's no real pragmatic way to put it into play.
It sounds like a mess.
It is a mess. It's a big fucking mess.
Also, people who say then ban all guns, like Riley, doesn't quite understand that, and we're a great example of it. Once you remove guns from the equation, we just pick a different weapon, like knives or acid. I don't know where the acid one came from, by the way. I have no idea.
Where the acid came from?
Yeah, I wonder where they're buying it from. Is it from McDonald's?
I read something that acid has always been a thing in England, but I don't know that.
It's possible that it's been hid because of certain cultures and certain small groups within towns, like Muslims, for example. If they are happening, they could easily cover them up with certain veils.
Yeah.
It depends on if it is happening. That's pretty fucked up. But I would still like to see some gun control debates because I think they're really interesting to watch play out.
Someone in your chat said judges are arbitrary, but judges are not the FBI. That's my point. Is the FBI can do something without.
Yeah, I noticed. Someone did a gun control. I think Wizard of Cause did a video on gun control today. But I couldn't pay attention to it. My mind's just wandered. I think he's changed his format. I can't remember what he said. No, fuck it. Sorry, Nick. I just wasn't. I wasn't able to listen to it.
Is he pro-gun, anti-gun? I don't watch any of his videos.
I don't know. I can't remember. I'm boring, but this is different kind of boring.
Let me just see if I can pull it up here.
What, if you don't mind me asking, because obviously you've done videos at gun ranges. Have you done them yet?
I got all the money for them. I bought everything I needed. I went to film them. And halfway through, my camera mic stopped working.
I remember.
So I have to buy a new camera mic.
Yeah, I remember this now because you talked about it. So, what is your position on the gun control argument?
I'm very pro-gun. I'm very pro-Second Amendment.
I saw
this is a
videos.
half-hour video.
Oh yeah. Don't. Nope.
Nope.
If people can't
nope, right the fuck out of it.
Sorry, Nick. I did give it a thumb up. I did listen to like 10 minutes, but I was playing a video game all day. My attention was never going to be there.
Couldn't be fucked.
Mostly that.
Yeah.
I'm quite lazy. Okay. I'm quite lazy. So before the all this the gun control stuff and the blood sport stuff, do you remember all those videos people were saying the problem with the skeptic community or the death of the skeptic community? Do you remember that?
I saw a lot of videos about the problem with the skeptic community, a community in ruin, shit like that.
So as someone that, like myself, gets pigeonholed into the skeptic community, have you noticed any real change in your output or amount of effort you put into your content? Because I haven't.
I've just switched the kind of content I do. I try not, unless it's just monumentally stupid, I'm trying not to do response videos.
Yeah, same. I mean, there's one or two that I've seen. Like I did one. I think I've done one this year. Machine Head did a song called Bastards. I did the response to the slam poetry version that Rob Flynn, the singer, did. Because if I did the music video, the song, I would have been copyright striked. And it's the cringiest song in the world. Especially
good.
No, it's just when he does the lyrics are bad. He's a metal band and he's turned into Green Day. It's embarrassing.
Nobody likes Green Day. Green Day doesn't even like Green Day.
No, they don't. I feel ashamed to say this, but I actually was a fan of theirs a long time ago. When I was a child, I thought their music was like catchy and cool. But then I found out what music actually was, and no.
Let me see if I can pull it up here. I'll tell you the exact... Because I did one video. It was like the Feminist Fight Club, but I didn't know Bearing did a response to it.
Yeah, that video
was I was like, this is going to get shit views.
Yeah, that video was horribly cringy. I'm so glad...
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't... Oh, no, that was bad. I think Matt Christensen might have addressed it as well. Maybe? Oh, maybe someone else. I don't know. It's not like the old days where everyone does a response video to it.
I've let's see. The last one I did was at the end of January, so it's been about a month. I try to do about 2 videos a week.
Yeah, you're the same as me in that regard. I noticed you stream more though, which is good.
I like the streaming. I like being able to interact with people.
Yeah, I do too, but I get horrible anxiety from it. It makes me very nervous, which means anything I've ever
I know
thought
a lot
of covering,
of people do.
I just blank.
It doesn't really bother me. I'm not a real anxious person. The only thing that gets me anxious is going to the dentist and smoking bud. But I sat and I could sit in front of like 1,200 people and just talk. It's not that bad. My streams don't normally get that though.
Yeah, I get the dentist one, by the way. I'm British, so we have terrible teeth anyway.
Yeah, I went to the dentist late last week. I was just going for a cleaning, and they're like, you got a chipped tooth in the back. I was like, I know I do. Like, okay, well, we'll take care of it. I'm like, cool. But, okay, a little bit of backstory. I went to the dentist about 1.5 years ago just to get the cleaning and shit done.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And they did the x-ray because it was a new dentist place. Right. And they're like, well, you need 8 root canals and all your wisdom teeth pulled. And I was like, what? They're like, yeah, your teeth are just awful. I'm like, what?
How does it feel to be British?
And then I never went back. And then I went to the new place and they're like, no, your wisdom teeth are out. You don't need any root canals. You have a single cavity and we're going to pull the chip tooth because it's just too much fucking work.
Amazing. And
they're like, yeah, your insurance will cover it. And I'm like, that's why.
Yeah,
they just wanted that insurance money. They were willing to do a bunch of shit.
Yeah, that's like any like engine. Where you take a car to get serviced, some engineers will take advantage of the customer.
Exactly.
Can't have that shit. I had a dentist similar to that where they wanted to do 6 fillings, but then I finally got an appointment with my actual dentist, and he just did the 1 filling. That was fine, and it thankfully didn't cost me I know your dental's quite expensive if you don't have insurance and stuff, but if you don't have, here it's privately it's unreasonably expensive. I guess it depends on cost of living and stuff.
People are saying root canals are a waste of money. That because the one I had pulled was the tooth right before my wisdom tooth, so it was like the last back tooth, and I had chipped it a while ago, and it had started to hurt, but not bad enough for me to do anything. And they're like, "Well, why don't we do a root canal?" I was like, "I don't know. You never told me you were going to do a root canal." And they're like, "Well, okay, I guess we'll just pull it." I'm like, "What? That's all the conversation we're going to have about this?"
Yeah, that's a short one.
Yeah, I was like, "All right, fuck it."
Oh dear, I can't have that. I don't think I could ever have. I've had to have an extraction before, and it was on the day of my niece's christening, and I was in agony because the guy I was given a specialist quotes specialist, and I went in, and normally they put this gel on your gum to numb it first before they put the needle in. Not this guy.
Yeah, they did that to me.
Oh, not this guy. No. He took the needle and just went straight onto the nerve. My hand was within an inch of his face because I swung my fist right up at him. I was so close. And then he wrenched and wrenched harder than... He didn't even give it time to numb. Right? I got home, my mouth devastated. Right? I was at this christening with my mouth filling up with blood. Like, yeah. I think I'll avoid all the yummy food because I love the taste of blood in my mouth so fucking much.
The exact opposite happened to me when I went. They just put that swab in and yanked.
Oh, fucking hell.
And they were like, "Do you feel that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I fucking feel it." And then they were like, "All right, well, we're just going to stick the needle into the nerve." And I was like, "Fuck it, just pull it out." Like, that sounds worse.
Yeah. I swear the guy, if he was a specialist, the word prefacing that was torture. It was absolute fucking agony. Oh.
But the thing that gets me at the dentist more than anything are the sounds, the crunch, the scrape.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to put my headphones in and I'm going to block you people the fuck out. Yeah. And I was like, Dan Carlin just put out a new hardcore history.
Nice.
I'm going to listen to that while they do their work.
Oh.
And Dan Carlin's hardcore history was on the history of humans enjoying other people in pain. So I'm like, you know what? You fucking know what?
The worst sound for me when the guy was doing it to me was the crack sound when he broke the tooth.
The crack. Oh.
He could have. It's one of the big molars right at the back. He could have easily wiggled it out. He could have done that. But no, he was like jumping off the ground to push that fucker. And I was like, I got up and I was like, don't look at me. Just don't.
She's a lady. 'Cause I'm a cigarette smoker, and she's like, it was one really hot Asian nurse and one really old Indian lady, and the Asian was like, "Are you okay, honey?" I was like, because their hands are in my mouth. They have this like ice pick, and wrenching and pulling and yanking, and they're pushing my jaw down, onto my throat, and I'm pushing it back up, and they're like, "You need to stop fighting us." I'm like, "I'm fighting for air."
Oh,
but I get done, and she's like, "You smoke?" I'm like, "Yeah, I smoke." She's like, "No smoking, 3 day," and this happened Saturday. She's like, "No smoking, 3 day, no smoking, 4 day, 72-hour Thursday."
Oh,
and I was like, I have this huge cotton swab in my mouth. I'm like, "I think you got all of that wrong."
Yep.
None of that was right. She's like, "No, you get dry shaka. You smoke 3 day, no 4 day, 72-hour Thursday." And I was like, "What?"
I don't understand now.
I'm like, "What are you saying to me, lady?"
I remember when I left mine, and they gave me the smallest cotton swab ever, which had pretty much just covered in blood within the moment it touched my mouth. And they said, "Do you need to say anything now before we finish it?" I'm like, "Yeah, could you buy me dinner next time before you decide to fuck my mouth?" Stupid shit. The guy was like 4 foot tall. I now get why he was stood on a stool jumping up to get honestly, there was a motion going on here where I honestly worried that if he jumps any higher, he was going to fall into my mouth.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. They were pushing so hard on my jaw with this ice pick. I'm like, if that thing slips, it's gonna go right through the bottom of my mouth, right through it. And I kept trying to move my tongue. I'm like, this lady's gonna fuck up, and I'm just gonna get a hole in the bottom of my mouth.
Yeah.
It's gonna go right through my chin. I'm gonna die at the dentist. This is how it ends.
To those of you listening to us, this is why we're nervous about the dentists. They are malicious little fucks, not clever enough to be actual doctors, so they decide to let out all their pent-up frustration on our poor defenseless mouths. It is quite unfair. It's basically mouth rape.
It is literally mouth rape.
Oh, I hate the dentist. I had to go just for Christmas, and I did actually tell my actual dentist, because he asked me, how's the specialist? I'm like, you ever send me to that fucking specialist again, I'm gonna chin you. I can't. My dentist is a lovely, like, Asian guy. He's such a nice guy, but I just nah, fuck you. I swear he stitched me up.
Yeah, they didn't even stitch me. They just gave me a cotton swab.
Oh, they should have with me. The amount of fucking blood that came out of my mouth. It was at the top of my mouth. The tooth was. That just didn't stop until like the next day. I thought for a second I might as well hang myself on my feet or something.
Mine went till the next day, but I like the minute I got home, because I was all fucking out of it, I just went and I laid in my chair and fell asleep for like 6 hours, and I woke up at like 9 at night.
Yeah. Oh dear. Omegon chins no one. Right. Well, I wanted to. Okay.
You think, buddy?
I wanted to, Dangerfield. I wanted to. Is that not enough? I'm British. If I wasn't going to chin him, I would have queued up to write a letter of complaint. And then complained about the queue, because I'm British.
Complained about not chinning him?
Yeah. Please give me permission to... I need this. I need it. I'm glad I've not seen that guy since, because I might have actually like tripped him over in the street. Just walked past.
Yeah,
foot out.
The guy I went to go see, the first time I went, I said, this nice little guy, he was like 4 foot nothing. He was so gentle with my teeth. I'm like, you're gonna do it? He's like, yeah. I'm like, awesome. And then I go and it's this, hello, you open your mouth now. And I was like, fuck.
Shit.
Damn it.
So to just go away from the dental talk, because honestly I think my teeth are starting to like twitch. Did you go with Misa to the shooting stuff?
Yeah, we went to the pew pew range.
How was she?
Not bad for a first timer.
Was it a first time?
She got scared. Oh, yeah, she got scared.
That's adorable. That's amazing.
Yeah, she's like, I want to shoot the Shane gun. I'm like, what the fuck is the Shane gun?
The what?
The 12 gauge. And I was like, okay.
She wanted to fire a shotgun.
Did it once. Yeah, she could only do it once because it hurt.
That's amazing. I got to, when I was a kid, I got to shoot a shotgun. And I've got a Beretta that I use for clay pigeon shooting, so it's a bit of a knock on the shoulder, but not much. But I remember being a kid, I had a chance to shoot a rabbit, and I almost bottled it, and then my dad was like, if you kill it, we get to have rabbit stew for dinner, and I immediately thought of Elmer Fudd, and I was like, yes, I'm getting bugs. Bang! That stew was actually quite nice, by the way. My mum did excellent rabbit stew.
The shotgun's okay. It's not my weapon of choice.
What's your
I think if I ever needed to pull a gun out of my safe, the first thing I'd ever pull out is my AR.
AR-15.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about this gun, and I know it gets a lot of people's like, it's a fucking automatic, ban it. I'm like, hang on, it's not an automatic, it's a semi-automatic. I know this because I watch gun channels. I'm a weirdo. I watch like military arms channel. I'm really weird. Apparently, us wanting guns in our country is weird, but it's also a very popular gun. Very popular.
It is the most popular gun in the United States. And the thing is about the AR-15, they're like, we want a blanket ban of ARs. And I was like, okay, how the fuck are you going to pull that shit off? What, are you going to ban every gun? There are AR pistols. There are AR everything, anything you could think of. There's like a
Yeah.
5.56 version of it.
Are they trying to? Didn't some also want to ban it from military as well, or some shit? And
Like it's a weapon of war. Why should civilians have them? Like civilians
Right.
don't have weapons of war. Civilians have semi-automatics that shoot the same round.
Oh, that's what an argument that regularly
If you
comes
look
up from
in
people.
your,
Sorry, go on.
look in the Discord DM. That's what I have.
Yeah, it looks. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the like M4s, I think it is.
That's what the military uses.
Yeah. So there's a similarity in appearance, perhaps, but I don't get the argument. Although some do, I have heard the argument that we should ban any gun that resembles a military gun. That's like, well, that isn't that just every gun then?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is you can have AR pistols, you can have AR long rifles.
Yeah.
And there are more than just ARs that shoot 5.56 NATO rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Like here, I'll send you this one too. This is in the line to be one of my next purchases. It's called a G36, and it shoots the same exact round. It's used by military, but it would not be covered in an AR-15 ban because it's not the same thing.
That reminds me. Oh, I like that. I've seen that in something similar perhaps in Rainbow Six Vegas 2 perhaps. It's got quite a nice range of guns in that game. I remember there being. Somebody told me that there were certain types of ammunition that are banned. Is that right? Didn't they try and ban certain types of ammunition once? I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
My mind slips. It wouldn't surprise me if to negate the whole. Someone else does Sinatra have Sinatra has a Discord? Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
But I don't ever use it, so there's no point in joining it.
You're not really on here much, are you?
No, I'm not a big Discord user. I only use it when I play video with people.
Yeah. I'm surprised you guys don't use it for Ghost Poo.
I know, since Hangout sucks so bad.
Exactly. I've never used. I haven't since I started updating streams. Used Hangouts. It's just my microphone and it do not get along. I don't get it.
Here, I'm going to send you another picture real quick.
Okay.
This is a .223 round on the left and a .308 round on the right. The .223 is what the AR shoots, and the .308 is what hunting rifles shoot. But there are AR-15s that shoot the .308, the big round, semi-automatic. Are you going to ban those? They're not technically ARs. They're SCAR heavies. They're G36 heavies. Like how do you ban this thing?
This is interesting. I don't get how you'd be able to make it work. You may as well just ban all guns at that point, but you can't.
Yeah, that's what you would have to do.
It's a stupid argument. I do find it, by the way, just an interesting note that a lot of British creators, myself, Misa, Cog, we all want to move to America, and I'm sure all three of us want to just go to shoot guns. That's all I want to do. Oh, by the way, one of my patrons has an AR-15. It's bright pink. She has a bright pink AR-15.
Tell her she's wrong.
She sent me a picture of it, and I was like, as much as I want to shoot a gun, I don't want to lose every man card I have holding that gun. I don't want to come to America with my supposedly fancy accent to then be mocked for holding that.
Yeah, you will be mocked pretty relentlessly.
Yeah, I can't do that. It's not my thing. I've already suffered enough mocking after my avatar artist decided to draw a another patron suggested that they draw my avatar nude, so they did, but they forgot to draw the junk. They made my avatar a eunuch with wings. I've got wings on the back. The wings look cool, by the way.
Do you, if you have £500 in the bank, you move here, you'll get an AR. We'll get you a regular ass AR. None of that gay shit.
My intention is to move over there at some point in the next couple of years once my sisters no longer require my help.
Everybody's intention is to move here because
honestly, Omegon the castrated angel, yes. Supposedly. It was actually, you know why she did it? Because She's only 18, and she said, because Cthulhu-Kin, Cthulhu has 2 wangs, and I couldn't bring myself to draw 1, let alone 2. It's nice. It's nice to know my avatar artist would stab me in the back like that.
Yeah, I bet it must be fucking beautiful.
At least you don't have to put up with that. You've got how's it Zeph put it? You've got a dead singer. You're lucky.
Yeah, I've got a dead singer and a Sammich and a
legend.
Manic Idiot.
Oh, Sammich makes them fantastic. I remember 2.5 years ago, when nearly 3 years ago, when I started on YouTube, he was about on streams that I used to appear on, and his artwork then and now is just phenomenal, and I'm glad he's getting some more recognition for that, because he's really
his artwork is amazing.
It is, and some of the stuff he's done is just awesome. Like the cunt stream thumbnails, they look brilliant. Always look good. Makes me.
I'll be back in 2 seconds, dude. My kid's screaming. Give me a sec.
Kill them. I'll talk to the chat. So how are you, chat? Let's see. Omegon could be worse. They could have made your avatar with sperm in it, like Obama's portrait. Shine a black light on it. FNFAL is man gun. Cool. What then would be a girl gun? Just so I know what guns to avoid. Hello, Foxy. Hello, TigerLily. Blue Penguin, I'm very well, thank you. I am enjoying the last remaining moments of my day off, which is quite nice, because I could have made a video today, but I decided, you know what? No. No one's here. Nice one, Zophiel. Nice. I did get a few pics for this podcast. I just baited a high school friend into ranting against MRAs in the comment section of an article about being sensitive to male issues. Trups, you're a terrible person.
Yeah, Bitmetal in your chat did a few pictures for us that were really good.
Yeah. I had heard about that. Is that like, okay, who did the new picture that I saw Irate Bear have on his thumbnail?
Probably Bitmetal.
Because that was quality work. I do wonder, though, if the rocking bod was accurate for Drunken Uncle or not.
Doesn't need to be accurate.
Part of me's like, I bet he's as pleasantly plump as Sinatra.
I am as content as ever.
So are you working on any videos at the moment?
No, I probably should, but I'm not.
Wow, you're almost as lazy as I am. Almost.
They got one yesterday. I can wait. Damn vultures.
You've been told, chat. Oh, Zophiel says, by the way, he's here for you, not me, so say hi.
Hi, Zophiel.
Yeah.
He doesn't come to my chat.
No, I noticed, right? It gives me shit when I play 7 Days to Die with people. So, and it's quite amusing. He's trolled a few other people, other creators that I've played with. And, yeah, it's entertaining.
I think Ranting Monkey and Satsu play that.
They do, because Ranting Monkey's been tagging me in some tweets with videos related to the game, because the game's gotten this new spike of interest. More people are playing it, so the developers are like, ah, shit, we now actually have to do stuff with it.
I have it, but haven't played it.
It takes some getting used to, but it is actually quite a lot of fun. I mean, I now pay, with some patrons, I pay for a server, which costs about £7 a month. So that way we don't have lag issues, bug issues. Well, we have bug issues, but they're not as bad as they were if they were hosted by one of us. And
I used to pay for a Rust server. That shit can be kind of annoying.
Yeah. Oh, hello, Drunken Uncle.
Hey, Drunkle.
Fucking pineapple.
Yeah, fucking piece of shit. I mean, pineapple.
Yeah, right. Such a piece of shit. I mean,
fucking
pineapple.
Scumbag. I mean, hey.
Everything's rigged to him, isn't it? Or is that Irate Bear?
Whenever I win, it's rigged to both of them.
Is it because you Google faster?
I'm just smarter than both of them put together.
Well, that's just an insult to British people everywhere.
Hey, you're the one who said it's all Brits, not me.
That's a fair point.
I'm pretty sure one of you over there can outsmart me in something.
I'm sure we could. I'm just too lazy to try. Involves effort, after all. and I generally can't be bothered. Yeah, I phone it in most of the time. You can tell by my content, which is pretty lazy at the best of times. Oh, I did notice on your channel you spiked quite a bit recently. That's pretty
the
awesome.
past few months I've been hitting over like a 4,000 sub mark.
See, that's pretty damn awesome.
I've just had a few videos that went insane. Like I had one video that got 500,000, another one that got a couple 100,000, another one that got like 200,000.
See, that's great. Not just to take advantage of it, because let's face it, if you do have a video go viral like that, then you do take advantage of it.
Oh God, yeah.
But also the return on the sub count, that's got to be good news for you.
My CPM's still trash though, so it doesn't mean that much.
Well, that's interesting because that new monetization thing came in yesterday, didn't it? And supposedly us that do get monetization should see and reap the benefits of creators that can't get money from YouTube come to us instead.
I am demonetized on upload almost every time.
Yeah, same. I have to challenge.
And after I got flagged twice, I don't even try to get them monetized. So my videos, if they don't stay monetized when they upload, they don't get monetized.
Yeah.
I'm done asking for reviews just to get flagged.
Yeah. This is why more people are streaming, which isn't necessarily bad, but at the same time, if anyone ever had this idea of having this as a job, yeah, unless you're a really good stream whore, no, it's not that feasible. I mean, only the really big channels can make it, I guess. But not myself. Maybe you, maybe. Do you consider
I do okay.
Do you consider this a bit of a job or something, or?
Well, this is my job because I have to stay home with my kids. They only go to school half day. I'm a single parent.
Oh, I did wonder.
So I stay home with them, and as long as they're in school half days, this is my job.
Well, that's awesome. That's actually cool and awesome at the same time.
It's neato.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is.
Director Greyhound says, "Did you see Suit's channel got terminated?"
Yes,
yeah,
I was going to add it. I'm going to add it to my next video right at the beginning. I think I'll mention that and link his new channel. Because
someone has it out for
him. Gary Awesome got hit as well. His channel was terminated briefly. Apparently there's been a bit of a sort of a surge in people getting strikes, false flags, and terminations.
In the past month, I've gotten 2 flags. V got 2, Sargon got 2, Cog got 1, Toon got like 4.
Didn't a bunch of people get them though when they started to question that Destiny fag?
Yeah, he got brought up, and people with this new shooting, they're getting taken down from what I hear.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. You have to wonder just how fickle someone is. That the only thing they can do to deal with someone that doesn't like them or has been critical of them is to flag their channel down. And when it is your income, your job, you're basically trying to break that person. That's not...
Yeah,
that's not right.
I don't like what Destiny has done. I don't like what Destiny has said. But the last thing I would ever do is say the man should lose the way he makes his money and takes care of his family. I'm not a fucking scumbag, you know?
At that point, you know, when you want to have it out with someone, perhaps going on the Kumite isn't such a bad idea after all.
Yeah, but I mean, wherever Destiny goes, whoever's around him gets fucked by his sycophantic fans.
Those fans, weren't they on like a subreddit trying to flag anyone that mentioned him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I had a Twitter video, a minute-long Twitter video, get DMCA'd.
Wait, what?
And it was taken down by Destiny, yeah.
I don't... trying to understand that kind of crap. And Drunken mentions most of my money comes from Patreon because of that channel termination is far from death. That's a good point. Yeah, which is also fantastic that there are so many people who are willing to support dickheads like us.
I don't really pimp my Patreon out. I probably should. I make like $200 a month off Patreon. It's $200. You know, that's my electric bill.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is that
I mean, I'm not complaining, but I should.
Is that expensive? Because I don't know.
It's not cheap.
because we pay about.
But I also have a
£30
full
here.
house.
Ah, full
Heaters.
house, right. Yeah.
My computer's like this just tank of a thing.
Gotcha.
So like that's electric. That's that's a bill for the month.
Okay. Well, that's actually reasonable then, I guess. Normally we pay about £30 a month here for electric, but we have a separate bill for gas. So at this time of year, especially, it's probably about the same.
So do we, but I don't have a gas heater. It's all electric.
Oh, you lucky fuck! I wish I had an electric one instead. Fuck gas! It's way more expensive here.
Well, and I also have a fucking whole house that I rent too, so that's a house electricity. Appliances, shit like that.
That sounds like fun.
It's totally fun.
I have to ask, when you did your PO box and unboxing stuff, you got a number of sex toys. Did they go in the bin?
I got a sex toy.
Oh, sorry. I honestly, I was looking. I remember the googly eyes. And I was like, yeah, sure, there's sex toys to someone, I'm sure.
I wanted to put the googly eyes on the dildo, but I didn't know how well that would work.
Oh, I'm sure it would have looked fantastic. Did you actually ditch the dildo at least, or did you shoot it?
No, I shot it, but I have another one that was sent.
How did the material?
It's in my drawer here, in case any ladies want to come over.
Did it hold up well? I mean, when it was shot through, like a Prince Albert
turned it
piercing?
into a straw.
Turned it into a straw. Oh god. I wonder if maybe it was like the that gel they use, ballistics gel, maybe. And it was
wiggly. It was jiggly, so it might have been.
You could see the bullet just create a piss channel.
Yeah, it turned into a big straw. I'm gearing up to do another unboxing here soon. I got about 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7, 8 packages hanging out. So
that's brilliant.
I'm gonna wait till I have a little bit more than that.
Well, let's fingers crossed more sex toys. I had considered getting a PO box, but they're very expensive, like £300 for 3 months or something stupid. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, mine's like $200 a year.
Yeah, I can't do that. It's just not.
Someone said that Zofel said he sent a Quran and it got sent back. I don't know why. There is one package here that's worrying me. Let me grab this. It's airmail from Canada, and it's in the postal service fucked it up so bad.
Oh really?
They had to put it in a bag that says "We care. We sincerely regret the damage to your package."
Oh, they've done that to me before.
But the package itself is greasy.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's all greasy, so I'm a little worried about.
Maybe it was.
I'm a little worried about that one.
Maybe it was lube.
I don't know, but it's staying in the bag, wrapped up till it's time.
I know that one of my patrons, he sent it to a friend's house for me. It should be here tomorrow actually. A care package from Australia, which will include some chocolates and other things, but also something I've already tried before, and because I've been told we have a British equivalent, I have tried both. Looked at them. There's an obvious difference, and there's an obvious taste difference. He's sending me a jar of Vegemite.
Oh.
Vegemite is supposedly.
I do like your British chocolate.
British chocolate. Well, not just not.
Yeah,
it's
Cadbury's chocolate's good.
Oh, it melts. It's so good. Yeah. Galaxy's not too bad, but I think it's a bit too bitter. If you have too much of it, yeah. But the Vegemite is supposed to be the Aussie equivalent to Marmite, which is a yeast extract, black paste.
Yeah.
It's
yeast.
Yeah, but it's there's an obvious difference in color, and an obvious difference in taste. Well, yeah, okay, Zophiel, it may not be a spread, but how I've seen people use it, they've used it as a spread. And according to my Aussie Sammich wench 8-bit thought, actually he spreads a lot of it. Marmite is thrush in a jar.
That's disgusting.
Marmite's very polarizing. It really is. A lot of people. It is a case. I think the motto is you either love it or you hate it. I don't mind it. In very small doses, but Vegemite, fuck that shit. It's pretty bad. Oh, and on the subject of foods from other countries, your Hershey's chocolate is terrible.
Fuck you.
I'm kidding. You
Dick.
get that response. I got sent bags of hugs and kisses from a male from a friend called Magnus. He sent those to me, and I was like, "That's pretty gay."
Oh, Magnus Dakin.
Yeah, he sent those to me. That was nice of him. He sent me hugs and kisses, and yeah, that wasn't gay at all, was it?
No, that's totally not gay.
I thought Peach Bailey was your Aussie sandwich wench. She has never made me one. And the excuse she gave me all those years ago when she first said she would was that she doesn't eat bread. That was her excuse. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. But Peach Bailey's barely ever around these days anyway. I don't think she makes content unless it's an update video.
I talk to her every now and again.
I used to talk to her all the time on Snapchat. She'd send me messages in the early hours of the morning. I'd wake up and she's talking about food she's cooking in her kitchen, and it just sounded like every student diet I'd ever heard of. Just random ingredients thrown into a pot.
Hey, that's how I make half my food.
It's how I used to make all my food. But as I got
ground
older,
beef, mac and cheese, fucking meal.
See,
Tuna, noodles, meal.
Pasta, ketchup, bacon, beans, sausage. There you go. There's your meal.
Dude, my favorite type of meal is something you eat out of a bowl with a fork. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. I'd rather use a spoon, but mostly because I miss stuff. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah, like just a thick, fucking mac and cheese. That shit's amazing. Throw some bacon bits in that.
Yeah, they got these pasta sauce things. It's like a ready meal, but it's not. It's in a pack. You pour that with the powder that's in it in warm.
Yes, I know exactly. I put tuna with those.
Yeah, those. They got the ham and cheese one. That's so fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Broccoli and cheddar.
Yep. I don't live off them, but I do have them quite a lot as a dinner because that fills you up.
Sinatra eats soup with a fork. Soup isn't food. I don't care what anybody says. No one gets hungry and goes, I want soup.
I eat soup with pasta, but only because I used to play American football, and before I went to play American football, I ate that, and that just got me through it. That was a really good... the soup normally had meat in it, so it wasn't just water.
Yeah, no, soup isn't food.
Soup is a...
When was the last time you got hungry and were like, wow, tomato soup sounds like it would hit the spot? No, it's tomato soup and something. Soup is a side dish at best. It's not a food.
This is why people pack those soups out with croutons or something, because they need actual substance in it.
Chowder's food. Soup isn't.
Chowder.
Chowder.
Where did that come from? I remember you doing
Bernie Sanders.
That was the very first one of these streams I did with the word Moisky written on it. The very first word spoken was you just saying chowder, and I had no idea where it came from. I've been meaning to ask for a long time.
It's Bernie Sanders.
Oh dear.
The crazy old loonbag socialist.
Is he still in the running for DNC, or are they still doing the identitarian crap?
I don't even know if he's still alive. I think they just kind of put his corpse out there with the marionette strings on top, and
I noticed him, like many other people of the Democratic Party, during Trump's State of the Union, which has been, well, since it hasn't been criticised too much by the British public, I would assume went down quite well. But with the Democrats, they just didn't applaud anything.
No, they weren't allowed to. Nancy Pelosi was watching her ass.
Absolute bitches. How petty are you? It's as bad as British politics at the moment.
They are in full Trump derangement syndrome.
They need to get over that and focus on 2020. They've got to focus on that and pull a decent candidate out of their ass.
Oh, they could do something this year if they wanted to.
Could they? Well, I mean the congressional midterm thing.
Yeah, they could take the House. They could take the Senate.
Do you think they will?
The midterms are this year. No, not anymore. Whenever they have something, if they can just play it off cool, if they can play something off cool, they could take the take the fucking W.
Really?
But their immediate reaction is, instead of keeping it at a cool 65, they crank it up to 100 and go, "That's impeachment!" No, it's full Trump derangement syndrome on the left in America right now, and nobody knows what the fuck to do. And the people on the right just go, "Ha! and the quote centrist unquote, the undecided middle go, ha! That's hilarious. I want that to keep happening because it's funny.
It is though, isn't it?
It's hilarious. I think when I see Nancy Pelosi staring at the rest of the congressional fucking Democrats like nobody better clap, I'm like, that just solidified my vote in 2020.
How petty do you have to be that you can't accept good things that have happened? I know you don't. I know that it might just be because Trump isn't really a career politician like some, but he won because he wasn't a career politician, along with many other things. Let's face it. I just don't get how long's Pelosi even been in charge of that party, by the way?
I don't fucking know.
Has she been there long, or
she just kind of popped up one day and like, oh well, here's Nancy Pelosi. She exists.
I think someone should go up to her and just say, "You're very bossy," and walk away.
Yeah,
see how triggered
you're
she
not a nice person.
Yeah, you're not nice, and you're bossy. That's pejorative, okay?
Yeah, you have to just throw some like mild sexist shrew.
Oh God, how triggered she'd be. I mean, considering the identity crap that the DNC is currently sort of like reinforcing, I think that would just absolutely send her batshit insane. It'd be interesting to see her. I'd like to see her talk to Trump. I'd like to see that.
Oh, she would just lose her shit.
I'd like to see him now on the Kumite then.
Yeah, Trump versus Pelosi in the Kumite.
Tonka, make it happen. I don't know if it's your agent failure that sets this up. Make it happen.
I think it all goes through failure.
All right, failure. Get Trump and Pelosi on.
And make it happen, failure. Do your job.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your okay? So since I've looped it back to Kumite, I know you can't remember many of them, but who's your favorite victory?
My favorite win would probably be over Atlas.
Atlas side.
Yeah.
Because I know this person is because they've DM'd me a couple times. I think I may have messaged him once or twice. I think.
Yeah, that's got to be my favorite W I ever took home because he accused me of saying shit that I never said.
Oh, that's terrible.
And I was just able to mollywop and walk away from it because he kept using my real name on Twitter. I'm like, oh, that's classy. And he's like, oh, what are you saying? I doxed you? You want to go on the Kumite about it? You want to say I doxed you? I was like, okay.
Wait.
I was like, yeah, I never said you doxed me. And then right after the Kumite ended, he's like, oh, by the way, I do have your doxes. I've got it and left.
Wait, so have you been doxed?
Yeah, I was doxed.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's whatever. Anyone wants to show up to my house, they're in for a rude fucking awakening.
Oh, honestly, I think I've said similar things. If that ever happened to me, if you came here, I'd actually murder you. I'm not a tolerant person in person. I'm a dickhead. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't want anybody to come to my house.
No, if I invite someone over, perhaps, but even then, nah, I'm too lazy. Did you ever do a Kumite with Zeph then?
I've argued with Zeph plenty of times, but not on the Kumite.
Oh, it's a shame. What's happened to?
I've had him on my channel.
Oh, really?
And I've gone at him on the Cunt stream a few times.
Yeah. Did you ever get a chance to clear the air with them? Him and that what's her name? Is it Liz?
No, Cthulhu tried a few times to set something up, and he said he would moderate, and then they said they wanted Mr. Mediker to moderate it.
Oh God!
Mediker thinks that their situation's hilarious, so he's like, "Hell yeah,
get a troll to moderate."
It would have been me and Tonka and Zeph and Liz and Mediker moderating, and then we're like, "Yeah, and Mediker's alter ego is Billy the anti-bully."
How would you manage to get Tonka to remain cool at all, though?
You wouldn't, but Mediker wouldn't stop him.
No, exactly.
But but I was like, yeah, Mediker can't moderate. Billy the anti-bully is going to moderate, and they're like, no, we want Mediker or nothing. because they're too stupid to realize Medicare and Billy is.
Oh,
And then Medicare finally agreed, and Uzlu was like, "I want to watch this," and then they both just backed out.
I bet they found out and they were like, "Ah, shit, we've already made a tit of ourselves."
But yeah, Zeph made his video about me. This half-hour long fucking video.
Wait,
and the whole gist of it is, "Sir, I have Adobe."
Was this recently?
No, this is I think a month ago or so.
Oh dear, I didn't realize they were still on YouTube. I thought maybe the private eye.
Liz has only quit like 5 times.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought that Zeph might have just left because he was too busy, finding people's doxes. Like, why the fuck do you do that? I don't need to know anyone's name unless they want me to know, and even then, I'm not going to ask for it.
Yeah. I mean, what's wrong with not knowing people? And that's the one question I kept asking him on the whole thing is, why do you need to know people's names? What do you need to know people's names for?
Yeah.
But he could never fucking answer it. Like, why do you need people's names to have an internet argument? Never could give me an answer.
People in the chat saying get better internet. I really would, but I'm stuck in a contract for at least another year. And as far as the doxing thing goes, I've always maintained that I liked Zeph's avatar, but the doxing... Yeah, but the doxing crap, no, can't be done. I think why even drag like Magog into it? What the fuck?
That's the thing. What did Magog do?
If anything, it just shows you're even shadier.
It's like I really don't like Hi. I Think I'm Real. I think he's a real pretentious prick, but his hair is on point.
I once left the comment when he got his hair cut. He got rid of the long bit, and I was like, I'm unsubbing until you grow it back. I'd be a hypocrite if I said that. Yeah, he sounds like a pretentious twat because I get called that on a regular basis. So, but I do get the whole pretentious thing.
But I like you and I don't like him. So.
Yeah, why do people like me though?
You're funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm okay with that. It's cool. We'll go shoot.
It's all good, man.
We'll go shoot dildos at the range together. It'd be awesome.
Let's fucking do it. Apparently, possibly something's in the work for this summer in Vegas. I don't know.
Oh, I heard that on the Kumite.
I talked to Philly. I was like, "Are you serious about this?" He's like, "Yeah, we're just figuring it out." I was like, "Dude, I am so fucking down."
I was sort of flitting in and out of a voice chat on Discord, and every time I mute myself, I'd then turn the Kumite back on, and I heard them talk about this. And Andy Worski, was it Andy Race Worski now? Or
Andy 1488 in the guest chambers. I will masturbate Worski.
You left out. I'll read super chats, Worski.
Andy pound through some super chats. Worski.
Oh, you get so much shit for that.
This really big, maybe she has like 30,000 Twitter followers, so bigger than me for sure. Messaged me and she's like, "Why is Andy Worski a meme?" And I was like, "We love Andy." And she just never replied.
Andy's a fantastic meme, and he does own that shit. But I have to admit, sometimes when he gets too much of it, he does get overwhelmed. It is quite funny at the same time. Like, he just wants to go on Kumite with everyone that pisses him off now, which I think's...
Well, that's the thing, is if people piss you off,
oh yeah,
you can call them out. I like that. It's fun.
I do like that. I think that... I know that... I think V did a response to Metika's Bloodsport video. I think he did. But I kind of get Metika's point. It's just a shit show, and that's what a lot of people will like. Yeah. It's not... Okay, so I do think that there is a... I'm not going to say half a lifespan for this kind of stuff, but it is like internet drama. But it's not internet drama. Let's just be clear. There is a difference between blood sports. I think there is between that and drama. Because there was, over the last 2 years, before blood sports became a thing, well, became a prominent thing, let's go with that, where people who made response videos to internet drama got heaps of views. Heaps of views. But when they went back to making their regular content, their views weren't sustainable. The difference between that and Bloodsports is that Bloodsports seems to be somewhat more consistent, in that there's always arguments going on Twitter. Always.
What's fun about Bloodsports is, it, like, me and Monkey went at it the other day, hard. And we're fine. Yeah. No big deal. Like, it can be fun, and you can just argue with people for the sake of arguing, and it's fine.
Yeah, I think that does get missed by a number of people. I don't think I would ever stand it. I know for a fact I'm not Much like Sargon of Akkad's ability to debate, I'm not particularly good at arguing with people. But that's mostly because I don't lose my cool enough, I think.
Yeah, I can yell at a motherfucker. That's my thing.
That's why when I'm mopping floors at work and I'm listening to people shouting over each other, I'm laughing.
Yeah.
I did notice that Monkey went one-on-one with Warski, I think. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was like 2 days ago. That's when I argued with Monkey too.
What was their argument about? Because I only sort of
Monkey
noticed
doesn't like blood sports.
A lot of people have been coming out and saying that, and it does sound like I mean, for what you can give whatever reason you want for not liking blood sports, but it's a thing now. If you want to use it as a way to make more videos on that, like I think Real's going to use Warski streams. He mentioned in his new video, I think that's what his. I really don't like saying "Hi, I think I'm real" as a name. That's almost as bad as.
I just call him Real.
Yeah, it's almost as bad as Omegon, really. It just seemed like a very pretentious thing to say. I don't like it. He's going to make videos solely on. If he's going to make more videos on Warski streams, I get it though, because those do become quite. Yeah, they lose their way a bit.
What's funny though is Real will sit there and make his videos, but he just refuses to talk to Andy. Like when I messaged Real and I was like, "Do you want to talk to me on a stream? It'll be just me." Mm-hmm. And he said, "Lol, no." And I said, "I seem to remember you saying something to the effect of, if you can't defend your ideas, you're a coward." Okay. And he responded with, "I seem to remember you saying something to the effect of nothing because I don't watch your content, LMAO." And I was like, "Oh yeah, good one."
Wow.
And he just never responded.
That ponage though,
yeah.
Right?
But what's funny though is the last time him and I talked in private, he's like, "Why are you mean to me?"
I honestly thought for a second I was listening to a child.
Yeah, he literally said that. He's like, why do you always quote me and say something mean or something like that? You're like, shit, the shift.
I'm not too it's a shame that he won't. I think also Darren Meyer's not going to go on a Kumite or anything. I don't.
Oh yeah, no. These people just sit on Twitter and cry all day, and then when they're like, "Well, why don't you go talk about it?"
But that's the thing, though, isn't it? Because then that makes. I don't know if it's a hypocritical thing. Because then Theron will rail on like Roaming Millennial for having Spencer on. It seems like, hang on, you really are just okay not talking to the people you disagree with. I mean, I'm down to speak to anyone I've not agreed with on something. I've just never been invited.
Yeah. I don't understand. What's the problem with conversation?
Apparently it's because the conversation is considered emotionally charged or has devolved. Or, to us, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny. It's okay to find this shit funny.
I'm sure that people still talk to each other after that. Well, some people talk to each other after anyway.
Yeah, I talked to Monkey right after. It's fine.
He's a pretty cool guy. Conversation is for Nazis. Well, of course it is.
Yeah, we're just supposed to blindly agree with people, I guess.
Apparently so. We are, after all, just skeptic clones. Or maybe you're not, because your avatar's not an animal avatar in a suit. So maybe
it's true.
So you're not. You don't fall into the category.
But it is a suit, because remember, Nightmare Fuel was a skeptic clone, and he's a skeleton in a suit.
Mm-hmm. What is it with you people and skulls, right? Right. H-Bomber guy was right.
What is it with you people in sexual assault, H-Bomber guy?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So the other on my second channel, which I've had forever, called the Cthulhu-Kin in French. I rebranded it when I realized I was going to get demonetized. I was like, right, well, I'll just change the format and do political streams. Just me talking for like an hour. Last week there was an article, and for all week there was a main story about Jeremy Corbyn, the leader of the opposition, in like some decade before I was born, or was it late 80s? I don't know, fuck it. Giving information and allying with Czech spies and helping Mother Russia. Now, I maintain I'm not convinced he was. I think he's a gullible fuck. Even if he did meet them, he didn't try and help them because he's a gullible shit. He really is. Okay, the evidence is there. But then Puffit, he was in my chat.
Ugh.
Yeah, don't. Prophet was there in the chat correcting me, and he was actually quite informative. Actually, afterwards, a few days later, he sent me an article. Right, so my article, just because I thought it was funny, was from the Daily Mail. Daily Mail is not a credible source, of course it's not, but it was the easiest to read because the Daily Mail write for children, quite clearly posh children. He sent me an article written by a man called Tom Watson. The article was on The Independent, immediately nullified because it's the polar opposite to the Daily Mail. But it's not just nullified. It's not just because of that. Tom Watson is in the shadow cabinet. He's basically one of Jeremy Corbyn's right-hand men. And it's quotes debunking the arguments about him being a Soviet ally. I'm sorry, but it's written by probably one of the most biased people you could have picked, Prophet. It's not the right source.
Well, what Prophet's doing is relatively innocent, I suppose. He's just finding shit that confirms his bias. That's what everyone does.
Oh yeah, I agree. By the way, I only recently, because of SoFane, found out there were other people with Cthulhu-themed avatars. I didn't know. I may have heard of Geek Cthulhu, but probably forgot. And Prophet,
Geek's a good dude.
I'd only spoken to Prophet once. I think on Kumite when I was talking to Tonka, because he just wanted someone to talk to. He just happened to pick the most boring person on the internet. With you. Yeah, he just picked the most boring guy and got you on, thankfully, to save me.
Prophet's an interesting guy.
I think he's had a few arguments with people, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's never won a Kumite.
Never won one?
He's like 0-19 or something.
Really?
Yeah, he blocked me on Twitter because I called him a drunk. And there's a story there that I need to figure out one day. Because he was typing to me, and it was at like 10 o'clock at night my time, so fuck knows how late it was in his area.
I don't know. Is he?
And I was like,
is he US?
I think he's a European.
Oh, really?
And I was like, you fucking drunk, because he wasn't spelling anything right. He's like, I go on YouTube drunk once, now nobody stops talking about it. And I was like, what? And he blocked me. I was like, wait, what happened? I need to know.
Oh dear.
There's a story there.
Oh, we need to know this. Hopefully he'll...
oh, yeah, he cried on the Kumite. I forgot about that.
You're kidding.
Uh-uh.
Oh, no. No.
Bald.
I
can't remember what it was for, but I just remember hearing a grown man cry and turning it off like, this is awkward.
I remember doing that similar thing when I heard Aiden Paladin sort of almost crying, and then that girl, I believe, crying on a...
Well, Aiden Paladin was crying because she lost her job.
She lost
and
her
that
job.
girl was crying because she got in trouble.
Wait,
like, there were
Aiden actually lost a job?
Yeah, she got fired from that shit, I think.
Do you think it was because of YouTube?
It was because of YouTube.
You're fucking kidding me.
Oh.
Oh. So, okay, she had a legitimate reason to be upset.
Yeah.
What was that?
But that girl was crying because she got caught.
Yeah, that would explain the fallout with, I think, Blonde absolutely hammered her on Gab, I think. Because she's not on Twitter. Calling her some rather nasty names. But, whatever.
I think it's okay to be mean to that girl with an opinion.
Well, yeah.
I think it's perfectly okay to be mean to her. Dude, she's such a attention whore, in my opinion. Like, she's okay. I mean, she's fine. But, like, when all this stuff started happening with the crowd server, she's like, I want to be left out of it. Leave me out of it. And then when people started calling her out for being on the server, she's like, I love the attention. And then it's like, I want to be left out of it. So I finally quote tweeted her, and I was like, stop.
Yeah.
And she pitched the holiest bitch fit I've ever seen. And then apologized to me.
Wow.
Like, she unfollowed me. She's calling me like an asshole and shit. And I was like,
she's not wrong about the asshole bit. But
no, she's not. That's
just for different things.
Yeah.
I'm
not an asshole for this.
Oh, I feel really bad for Aiden now. Especially, I think, isn't Thunderfoot railing on her now as well for something on Twitter?
Yeah, Thunderfoot's just grasping at relevancy.
Oh, I love... okay, so I thought it was funny when... I get that people can be outraged by it, but when he used a picture of a girl with Down syndrome and compared it to autism, that
pissed me off.
I didn't know the context, so I saw the picture and thought that was funny. And then I found out more and I was like, oh, I can't laugh at this anymore.
Yeah, no, that kind of pissed me off. It's like, you're being you're being stupid by saying that autism is the same as Down syndrome. And B, you're being disingenuous as fuck.
I think he did that on purpose because he wanted that reaction, though. I think he wants that because then he can make another video on how toxic the skeptic community is.
Nobody fucking likes him anyway.
Yeah, if he sticks to his science videos or I need Sarkeesian, he's fine.
Yeah, just stick to what you know, kid.
What you're good at. Although I think someone did call him a janitor, or a CERN janitor or some shit, and he was like, no, I'm a nuclear janitor because he works with neutrons. Little science ponage, can't really complain there.
One of my favorite conspiracy theories ever has to do with CERN, that they're trying to destroy the world.
Yeah. Totally true, everyone.
I honestly, especially more recently, I love a good conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I kind of wish there was more of those, to be honest. Maybe people should switch their content up to do with that instead.
You think?
Yeah, why not?
Well, conspiracy theories are somehow a right-wing thing.
Really?
Yeah, if you look, that's why you see people say right-wing conspiracy theory.
Oh, well, of course. Yes.
Right-wing conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Because Alex Jones is somehow speaks for all of us.
Oh, hang on. I've got a video clip of him in my saved in a folder that I was going to use one day. And I think the video is titled... Oh, fuck it. Where is it? Current project videos. Claims transgender rights activism is really about cyborgs. Right. I've saved this 3-minute clip of him doing this because there's a segment from it where he talks about cyborgs with transgender activism, and I just don't get it.
I
don't.
Such
I don't
a silly bitch.
It's up there with Turning the Frogs Gay, which there's a fantastic remix of. I think it's one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life, actually. And also, someone sent me a picture. One of my patrons. One's a picture of a 30mm, and the other one's a .30-06. I don't know what that is.
30-06.
Right. One's monstrous, and the other one's quite small.
Yeah.
That is... I mean, how do you fit that in your gun?
Big gun.
Big.
You gonna be okay if I go take a piss real quick?
I was thinking about ending this, actually, if that's cool with you.
Okay. That'll work.
Did you want to show your channel before we leave, or are you okay with me just ending it?
Yeah, just sub to Omegon and PewDiePie.
Sub to PewDiePie is massively underrated, everyone. Good night, everyone.
He's only got like 50 subs.
That's all he